Sherry, and this is Flannel Acres, your creative home connection. Stay connected by subscribing and leaving me some comments and stuff. Today we're going to do a crochet pumpkin, and here's a good look at that. It's a very simple pattern, very simple project for somebody, especially a beginner or somebody who's experienced that wants just a quick project for Halloween or fall time. And here's what you're going to need. You need regular, I believe it's called worsted weight yarn, so just whatever yarn you like. It doesn't have to be expensive or anything like that, just regular yarn. I am using a size G crochet hook, and it also says on here 4.25 millimeter or a size 6. So there's a couple different sizing things for these, but mine says a G on there. You'll need a sharp pair of scissors. I had these little teeny tiny ones that I keep in with my crochet stuff. They're very handy. And you're gonna need a yarn needle. This is a thick needle that's easy to thread yarn into, and it has a blunt end on it, so it's good for weaving in and out of yarn projects without going in between the actual yarn threads, or the yarn, what's that called? The twisty part of the yarn. So anyway, these work great for yarn projects. You'll need something for a stem, and I just broke off a piece of a cinnamon stick and stuck in the top of this. And you also need something to stuff the pumpkin with. You can use regular fiber fill, kind of the stuff that goes into pillows. I use dry black beans, so you can kind of see through the yarn. They're kind of peeking through, and some of them want to actually slip through these little holes. So you want to keep that in mind with whatever you're stuffing your pumpkin with. But I do like that the pumpkin is kind of hefty with the beans in it. It gives it a little bit of weight. We're going to start with a slip knot. And our first row is going to be chain stitches. If you're new to crochet and some of this doesn't make sense to you, you need some kind of beginner tricks and beginner tips, make sure you check out that card right there in the corner. So this first row, we're going to do chain stitching. We're going to go 15 across. And we do one chain stitch to go up to the next row. So there's going to be 16 chain stitches total to start out. Then we're going to turn and go across the next row. We're just doing single crochet and keeping it simple here. Alright, then we chain one and turn our work, and we're going to single crochet another row, and we're going to keep doing that until we have about 25 rows. Now if you need a little trick here to keep track, this is a little counter. I don't know if you can see on there the little numbers. So as you go, you can change what row you're on, so you can kind of keep track of how many rows you've done. And this goes right on the end of your crochet hook, like this. And it should be out of the way as long as it's on the end like that. So we continue on. Okay, I've finished 25 rows here, and what you should have is just a plain rectangle, just like this. And we're going to actually make this into a tube, kind of like this. And we need to stitch these two seams together, or these two ends together, to make a seam. You can either do that with your yarn needle and some yarn, or you can keep crocheting. See, I left my last loop there. I'm just going to chain one. Bring those two together. You can either do it so that it's in the back, or you can fold it up to the front like this. Whatever's easier for you. And then you're just gonna line it up the best you can and single crochet together these top stitches all the way across. Okay, now I'm going to tie this off, and I'm going to leave kind of a long tail on there because we're going to need that in just a minute. Alright, you can see that seam is kind of sticking out there. We're going to fold that to the inside. So turn this tube inside out, or right side out, whichever way you want to say it, so that that's on the inside. And now we have a tube here with a tail on each end, like this. So you're going to use your yarn needle next and put one of those tails on there like that. And then, I hope I can get this in the camera good, but we're going to weave this in and out of these top loops here, all the way around the top, so that we can pull it tight and it'll close it all together. It doesn't need to be perfect, just kind of go in and out of those top loops there. Okay, we're back around to where we started, and you should be able to just pull on this and it closes it up. So pull it nice and tight, like so, and then just kind of tie a knot around a spot on there. Just hold it tight. Maybe. Okay, just find one to put that through. Make a knot like that and pull it tight, and that should stay put. Now we need to stuff this with something. We can do, like I said, dry beans or marbles or fiberfill, whatever it is you want, something so that when we're going down through the middle of it with the yarn needle a little bit later, it won't have any trouble going through. And when you do fill it, you're going to want to fill it 1/2 to 3/4 the way full. That way it's not completely stuffed, but you'll still have room to close it. And then we're going to do those ridges in the sides of the pumpkin, and you need a little bit of leeway for that as well. I have this wad of spare yarn that I'm not using for anything at all, so I'm just going to use this to stuff the pumpkin, and we'll see how that works. Okay, I think that's probably going to work out good. I still have a little bit of room in there to cinch this up, and then we'll finish it off. We're going to go back to our yarn needle, and the tail that's kind of on the top of your pumpkin, you're going to string that onto your needle. We're going to do the same thing all the way around this edge here, in and out with the needle, and then we're going to pull it tight to close it. All right, then we're going to pull that closed and tie it off the same way we did the other side. So we need to make the pumpkin a little bit shorter and make those ridges in it. So we're going to basically be weaving the yarn through the middle of the pumpkin through the other side and then pulling it tight, and these will go around. You'll see how we do that here in a second. I'm going to start by using the tail that I already have strung on my needle. I'm going to go straight down through the pumpkin to the other side in the middle. And then I'm going to tie these two together, and that should help pull it together a little bit. I'm going to take the longer of the two tails here and string it back on my needle again, and we'll make some ridges. Alright, so I'm just going to see how it's coming out the bottom here. I'm going to take the needle around the top and go through the top, down through the bottom. Just like this. And then line that up so it kind of matches the line on the side there and then pull it tight. It'll make a little pumpkin ridge in there. And then I'll move over a little bit, like right here, and I'll bring it up again. I don't know if you can see that good. I'll bring it up here like this, go down through the top again, pull it out the bottom, and pull it tight. And see how it's starting to make those cute little pumpkin ridges in there? Then we'll go over a little further and do another one. And I think I got enough yarn I can do one or two more here. I may use this other tail to finish the last one. So we'll go down through one more time with this tail. Like that. And then I will use this long one that I have left over and make one more in there. Alright, I have these two tails on the bottom. I'll just tie those together so that they don't go anywhere. Make sure these aren't coming up through the same hole, because when you tie them, it won't do you any good if they're coming up through the same spot. So I'm just going to go through a little something here. There we go. Okay, now I'll tie them off. I'll trim those off here. There we go. Now I just need to find a stem for this. Alright, so I just found a little piece of a sassafras stick, and I'll just stick it into here. You can make it shorter and hot glue it if you want to, or craft glue it. I'm just going to shove it down in here inside the pumpkin and see if that works. Okay, I got one that's a little bit shorter. Probably work a little bit better. There we go. That's cute. Alright, it has a little stem. It could be a little bit thicker. You know, if I find a different stick, maybe I'll switch it out, but I'd say that's not bad. Thanks for coming along for this fun fall project. As always, thank you for watching and liking and subscribing, and make sure you click that little bell down below so that you're notified when new videos come out. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.